Hey, Melissa here from Girl Gone Fishing. Today is a practice day. This is really cool because I don't get a lot of these in my schedule, but today I have blocked out just to try to learn to get the fish out from inside the lily pads. So a couple years ago I learned to frog, so I could get them off the top of the lily pads. And I've learned that trick about taking a weightless Senko along the top of the lily pads and sometimes dropping it into the holes. But I know there are fish down there inside those lily pads that I'm not getting to. So I'm getting ready in 2 weeks to go up and do my first big national Hobie Bass Open Series tournament, the Hobie BOS series. It's up on Saginaw Bay, and from looking at Google Earth and starting my research, it is just full of reeds and grass. So I need to figure out how to get the fish from those reeds. And everyone talks about punching the reeds. I don't know how to punch. I've never punched. I don't know what to do. So I decided that this weekend and next weekend, my 2 weekends before I get to the tournament, I'm going to learn how to do this. I'm going to learn how to get fish from something, from in something. So whether it be grass, reeds, cattails, lily pads, I have to figure out this technique of going in there and getting them out. So I messaged my buddy Adrian Warfield, and he's actually going to meet me up here at Cowan Lake, and we're going to do some punching frogging practice. And he told me that one of the most important things is learning this Snell knot. And now I've been really stubborn my entire fishing career. I only know the Palomar knot. I have this fear that if I try to learn another knot, I'm going to forget the Palomar knot. So I do everything with the Palomar knot. And if it can't be done with the Palomar knot, I don't do it. And I know that's stupid, narrow-minded and all that, but that's just how I've been going about this. But maybe it's time to learn something new. So I'm going to try to get some information from Adrian, put it on this video, and we can learn together on how to wrestle those big bass out of the thick stuff. All right, so this is Adrian. You guys probably recognize him from some of my earlier videos, but he is going to show how to set up punching. Is it for punching and flipping, Adrian, or punching?
I use it for both. All right, I use 2 bobber stops. Not an expert by any means. I have bad eyes and bad dexterity, but I get this on, and then you basically just pull the bobber stop like that through the line, and I just move it up a little bit, and then I do it again with another one.
Do it real slow.
Okay. So you go through this little loop, then I just pinch the bobber stop like this, pinch it, and pull up, and it's on there. It's kind of weird and magic how it happens, but it does. And then I scoot them up so that I can put on the weight. So I just scoot them up the line real quick so I can put up the weight. So we're just gonna put our weight on like normal, right through here. And I just let that sink up.
And what's the weight you usually use?
I'm using an ounce today. I've anywhere from an ounce to a half ounce normally. I haven't really been in that situation to where I needed like an ounce and a half or anything like that.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna tie a Snell knot. So what you do with the Snell knot is you wanna go through with the hook point facing like this. Okay, if you go through this way, every hookup will go backwards. So your hook will end up being like this, and so you won't get as good a hookup. So you wanna go through here like this, and then I make a loop right here like this, okay? Then I wrap it around the shank. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I just do 5 times like that, maybe even 6 if you're feeling like it. Go through back through this hole, pull it, and try to get it all synced up at the top. Pull it. I buy it. You want your hook to end up coming forward, and it's not really going forward right now, so I got to cinch it a little bit better.
Okay.
So you're looking for your hook to go like that, go forward, and so what will happen is when the fish penetrate and bite that, it's already going to kind of set the hook for you a little bit. So just reel and then pull tight.
All right, that we've pedaled our way back to the lily pads. Actually, here at Cowan Lake, these are Lotus pads. You can notice they're a lot bigger than your standard lily pads. So Adrian says when he first approaches an area like this, he's going to frog first. I would also throw a chatterbait or maybe a spinnerbait to the front of the pads, like this area, before you put your boat there. So as you're coming into this area, you're going to fish this part, you know, because the fish might be pulled out in front of it. You got to check that out. All right, so what's your setup right here?
Basically, I'm just looking for like little holes wherever I would throw a frog at and where I would think a fish should bite a frog. I'm also looking for the pads, see when they're moving. Typically, you know, like that means there's fish there, so I'm going to try to throw it in there. What I've been working on is trying to be as like quiet as possible with it, and like having it land with like a little splash. So that's basically what I'm doing. You just let it sink and try to feel the bite. You know, I try to let it get all the way down, and I pick up on it, let it go back down, pick up on it again, take it out, and do it again, over and over and over. Just try to find different spots. See, like, there's a pad back there that's moving. I'm gonna work my way to that pad and try to see if I can get one. It moves a couple of different ways, so that fish is moving out that way. It could be a carp, it could be a bass, but that's kind of what I think. How I work.
Aww. Okay, I'm a little confused here. Here's my punch rig. I've got my bobbler stoppers. I've got my 1/2 ounce tungsten weight. I've got my flipping hook, which has a little plastic keeper up there. And I've got my creature bait. This one happens to be a Berkeley Max Scent power bait creature hog. My problem is I can't figure out how to expose that. How do I skin hook that hook? Because if I leave it like that, it's going to get hooked on things. This is a rig meant to go into the grossest, thickest stuff, and there's no way that everyone does it with that hook exposed like that. So what am I doing wrong? Well, unfortunately, my GoPro is powered down due to overheating. I really wanted to get that over-the-shoulder cast to catch of my first punching bite, but maybe I'm not going to get my first punching bite today anyway. So the reason I really wanted to come practice this was to have some confidence in that technique before I take it up to this national tournament. Now, I do have a couple days to practice up there in Michigan, but I'd rather figure it out here and then use the time more effectively up there to find a location rather than like try to learn the technique. So I'm going to keep working on it, and hopefully I get to feel what it feels like to get a fish on a punching bite.
I saw like a log right there. I was like, oh, that's different. So I flipped to it, and he took me underneath the log, had to take me into the pads to go get him. Got him.
That is awesome. Yeah. In the middle of the jungle. All right, I did it. Can you see that there? I punched a fish. I mean, I didn't punch a fish. That would be rude. I punched up a fish. So my very first punching fish, my very first rip them out of the lily pads fish. This is cool. I can do this. Thank you, fish. All right, we're off the water. Adrian and I have both successfully caught a punching fish. I caught my first punching fish, but I'm not really sure how to tie the thing on. So Adrian's gonna be my coach and my cameraman here. So step one, what do you do with these things again?
Yep, put it through that hole.
So there's the bobber stop, and I'm trying to get it through this microscopic little hole here. Why is this so little?
Yep. All right, put it all the way through.
Yeah.
All right, hold it tight. Now you're gonna pinch this bobber stop and pull up.
Okay. Does it matter where on the line it is right now?
Nope, it's good. Pinch and pull up.
I'm pinching and pulling just like this.
Yep. Keep going. Oh.
Was that wrong?
Pull. Keep pulling. See what happens. There you go. Good. It's on there.
Okay.
So that's your first one, and then you're gonna do another one.
Okay. Step one. Step two. This is my weight. This is a Strike King tungsten 1/2 ounce flipping weight. So this goes on nose first.
Yep.
Like that, and it runs into the bobber stops. And then, all right, Adrian showed me how to do this Snell knot. He said you got to start by going through the eye with the hook facing the line. So I'm going to go through like this. Okay, drop the line down.
Yep.
Bring it up.
Right.
Then what?
Hold the loop, and I do it 5 times. You can do it 6.
I'm losing my loop. Okay, first time's never easy. Alright, if I hold this like that, then I can do this. All right,
Exactly.
This
There you go.
1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, and then what?
Yep. Now take your tag in and go through that loop that you made.
Through this loop down here.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Now pull it tight. I pull on the main line. Yep. And then just try to have it sink up at the top, like a Palomar knot. Good. And pull it real hard, and you're good. And then see if it does it. Yep. It's kicking out. That's good. That's what you want.
Now we slide the bobber stoppers down. Adrian says in his style, he leaves a little bit of room for a little bit of play between the weight and the bobber stoppers, but that's up to you. Then I'm going to cut my tag line off here. And so for this, you put it on just like a Texas rig. This is the Berkley Power Bait Max Scent Creature something or other.
Creature hog.
Creature hog, all right. So you're gonna put it on just like your Texas rigging. You go in the end, out just a little bit, slide it all the way up over the little keeper, spin it around, and then you're supposed to be able to put it on so that the hook doesn't stick out, but this is the part on this technique that I'm not getting, because the tip always sticks out there and then gets hung up. So I don't know, but there you go. One punching rig. It looks very official. So thank you, Adrian. Appreciate your help.
No problem.
Okay, well, we're all packed up, ready to head home, back to our busy lives. Adrian's got a family. I don't know how people with families do this. I don't have any time, and I don't even have a family. Yeah. So thank you, Adrian, for giving some of your free time to help me learn this.
Always good time spending with GGF.
He's one of my original Girl Gone Fishing guest stars. So I want to say a huge thank you, as always, to Strictly Sail Kayak for getting me out there on the water with the Hobie Lynx, and for always being there to support the kayak angling community locally. The tournament trails would not exist without them. So thank you guys, and thank you guys for watching. We appreciate it, and I'll see you out on the water on the next one.